So this is the first floor space. It's a little over 7,000 feet. When ownership bought this, they demoed all of this space and then moved the retaining walls on either side out 10 feet so that you have patios on either side. There's a kind of back entrance to the patio there, stairwell down from the front entrance there. Even though the guys that own this are real estate guys, even they didn't want to guess where one would want the doors there, because if you want offices along the outside, maybe you don't want doors there, but it is totally possible on both sides to punch below one of these windows and add either sliding doors or doors out there so you can have indoor-outdoor space. But again, didn't want to do that in case someone had built out that was going to get in the way. 200, this is the smallest space we have. We can move an existing tenant that's on 3 down here to make the entire 3rd floor available. So you stack that 7,000 feet on top of each other, with plans to carpet was just done, but spruce it up a little. But we can, it's just more of a release valve to get tenants out of the way.
Okay.
Two spaces, they're 2,700 feet. This would probably be your main entrance because the lobby's right here. Both tenants are on month-to-month leases, and we've got a plan to do a spec suite that we're happy to provide someone, or if you want to occupy itself, that's totally fine. But the main gist is the 2,000 feet starts effectively off the lobby and kind of wraps around with window line all the way down there.
Awesome, great.
So the suite behind me is where that secondary entrance to 210 is. So that combines to be that 2,600 feet you probably enter over there. This is a little bit more down the corridor. The only long-term lease we have is through middle of 2024 with this dental group. So they would love to stay. They love the building. That's kind of the theme with all these smaller tenants, which is why we're letting everyone stay month to month. That's not long, but if you wanted, hey, I want my 20,500 square foot building in 2024, could be all yours.
Great.
We're now on 3, which stacks over 1. So the space that was above that shelf space we toured is here. This is the insurance group that we're proposing moving down to Suite 200. So and then we have a deal to do so if we want. That'll clear this entire 7,000 feet. None of the interior walls are structural, so you'll be able to get both sides of glass, similar to what that is. And same thing, everything up here was redone, waiting on art or something to go there, and plans and all that. But for the most part, same thing, blank slate. You want ownership to stay, they'll stay there. If you want them to move downstairs somewhere, you could get all this.
Great.
Probably just going here, this one's older space, so it doesn't show that well. Like I said, this was 2nd gen space, but for an older build out, was pretty good. You've got the exposed deck, it shows very well. I actually like the painted black, although I know some people would paint it white. And then right now, obviously it's a little tough to see because there's so many offices on the outside, but you've got the side of glass over here on the east, west, and a little bit facing south as well. So that's 42nd Street right there. The parking's covered canopy. The good news is there's also street parking basically all the way there. It's a pretty good parking ratio for a building this size, but if you need extra parking, there's an abundance of there.
Great.
Lot there, right up the stairs.
Great.
And same thing, this kind of wraps around here. You can see that that's where the west glass line would be, and then behind me is that insurance group that we're going to move down to the 2nd floor. So if you move them and wanted the 7,000 feet up here, you just have same thing, mirrored images of glass basically.
Perfect.